David Dunn is a professor of international politics in the Department of Political Science and International Studies at the University of Birmingham. Mr. Dunn is now joining us live from England. Thank you for making time for us and welcome. What could be done, in your opinion, at this moment to avert Lebanon from being turned into Gaza?
Well, what we saw with Netanyahu's address to the people of Lebanon was an attempt to actually get the Lebanese people and various factions to actually rise up against Hezbollah and to remove them from their controlling influence in parts of southern Lebanon. But the difficulty there is that the forces allied against Hezbollah are fairly weak. The government of Lebanon is historically no match for the military might of Hezbollah, and therefore that's difficult for them to do. But what Netanyahu is trying to do is to create an alliance of Israeli firepower and opposition to Hezbollah in Lebanon to try and bring that situation to a conclusion. But it's a tall order. It's much more likely that the war will continue and the attempt by Israel militarily to destroy Hezbollah will be the what we see over the next few weeks, even indeed months.
Mr. Dunn, President Joe Biden and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have recently turned foes. Do you think the anticipated phone call is going to change anything or create some impact, or will be the same rhetoric that has been ongoing for months on end?
There's nothing to suggest that the situation will change. Biden has spent over a year pleading with restraint from Netanyahu, and Netanyahu has more or less done his own thing. And while America is prepared to protect Israel's back, in terms of supplying it with military equipment and being there as a backstop if Iran were to attack Israel, in a sense, Netanyahu has got nothing to gain, in his view, by making concessions to the Americans. So what we have is the situation whereby America, by virtue of supporting Israel, is allowing them effectively to do whatever it is they want to do. And what they want to do at the moment is to attack their foes in Gaza and Hamas, and Lebanon, Hezbollah, and they're having military success doing that, and therefore, from their perspective, they're seeing no point in changing that.
Mr. Dunn, finally and very quickly, there are some countries, including France and Britain, who are calling for countries to stop arming Israel. France is saying that it is mulling the idea of stopping arms to Israel. Britain is doing the same. Do you think this will change anything, if at all, the United States does agree to this call to stop arming Israel?
These are symbolic gestures that are more to do with the politics in France and Britain than they are to do with having a material impact on the Middle East. Israel gets most of its weapons from America, and while they continue, Israel will be empowered to carry on the military actions it is currently undertaking.
All right, I've been talking to Mr. David Dunn. He's a professor of international politics in the Department of Political Science and International Studies at the University of Birmingham. Professor, thank you for talking to us today.
Always good to be here.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.